everyone. Thanks so much for joining today. My name is Ashley. I am happy to be a guest on a webinar today with Techfino, our partner. We're here to talk a little bit about make-to-stock manufacturing using license plates. Sergio works with a lot of manufacturing companies. Sergio is with Techfino. He sees this a lot, and it's pretty common for manufacturers to want to make their items to stock as they go through the manufacturing process. So just to start us off with some introductions, firstly, my name is Ashley Chancey. I'm our channel manager here at RF Smart. I'm also joined today by Danny Bushman, who is a solution consultant with RF Smart, been here for quite some time. I'm also here with Sergio. Sergio, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate it. Yep, I've been a network consultant, NetSuite consultant for the last 6 years. And prior to that, I worked in the manufacturing industry and distribution logistics for about 20, 25 years. So that's where I fit into this. We have an interesting situation where, we have customers, like you said, that required for us to look into how to manage their make-to-stock when they're doing the manufacturing themselves, right? And it's important because you guys provide an interesting solution that is a niche in terms of the NetSuite environment, right? To implement license plating in a make-to-stock environment, you do require a warehouse management system, and that's where you come in place. And we do encounter quite a bit of customers that call us to see if we can fit in, how do we can manage that process, right? Because it's not management NetSuite directly, right? So so we need to do that, integrating that with your WMS.
Yeah, well, we're going to show that today. Danny is a solution consultant, as I mentioned, so he's here to kind of show a little bit of those features off today and how RF Smart really enhances what NetSuite has to offer, particularly with this case scenario. So really quickly, though, just to introduce RF Smart a little bit. RF Smart has been in warehousing and supply chain for over 40 years now. We've got 2,000 customers, in which the majority of those are using NetSuite as their ERP. We are a one-stop shop for all things mobile supply chain. So think WMS, like we're here to talk about today, shipping, printing, hardware, services and support, consulting, you name it. When it comes to mobile supply chain, we've got a lot of expertise in that area. And talking about Techfino a bit, Sergio, did you want to kind of give an overview of what you guys focus on at Techfino?
Thank you. So yeah, we are obviously NetSuite experts and focusing in optimizing the NetSuite experience, like the text says over here. We have done a lot of projects, more than 175 over right now. And we do excel in different type of industries, across the board, from food and beverage, the health and beauty, manufacturing, distribution, et cetera, right? And we work with the services companies as well as non-for-profit. Those are the latest type of projects that we do. We do help the organizations optimize all of their processes, drive operational excellence, and we try to reduce costs as much as possible in the implementation by making sure that we provide the correct, solution. Like in this case, the license plating, for example, right, and the correct partner in this case, which will be RF Smart.
Well, we certainly appreciate the partnership. So moving forward, again, this is really just to give a snapshot. So I'm going to turn it over to Danny, who's going to run through with Sergio kind of a scenario of what this make-to-stock manufacturing environment would look like with NetSuite and RF Smart. So I'll turn it over to you, Danny.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it. Thank you, Danny.
Sure. Thank you.
Looking at this particular scenario, which we encounter quite a bit, with our customers, where we have a make-to-stock situation, right, in manufacturing, and we need to package large quantities of products and to place them into storage for a while before we get sales orders that we need to fulfill. So one of these methods used today to manage this bulk of large amount of inventory is by utilizing the concept of license plating, and which is not at the moment not available in NetSuite, right? But you do provide this solution. Our smart does provides this solution. And license plating is just a practice of grouping sets of units under its own unique barcode. Call it a license plate, right? So this will make it faster or easier to receive, transfer, or transact the particular group of inventory as a single unit. So we do encounter this quite a bit, with our customer base, and we would like to offer this, together. We working together with you with our smart. So, Danny, how do we look at this? What type of operations are available today in our smart that allows us to do license plating?
Pretty much everything in the inventory control can be coupled together with a license plate. So we see a lot of customers that use it for inbound side, purchase order receiving for it. Once it comes in the door, we can build a license plate during the PO receiving process, putting it away, cycle counting it, transferring it. On the manufacturing side, we see the same thing. When you're ready to build a work order, you'll need components, so you can choose to deliver those components via a license plate that you receive those raw materials on the inbound side of the PO receiving. And then when you're ready to do the manufacturing completion of those, you can also build a license plate so that you can store those, as you mentioned. And then when you're ready to pick it for a sales order or even a transfer order, so when you're ready to send it off to a customer or when you're ready to transfer it to a different location, those order pickings can be done via license plates. So it carries all the way through.
Great. And in the manufacturing side of things, obviously, we do have in NetSuite 3 different levels of manufacturing offerings, and I believe that you're offering today for, it works only with the routing, right, version.
Correct. Yeah. Work in process module. Once that's turned on, then the license plating would
So
kick
that's
in.
important for everybody to know. Good. Yep. And then, what sort of customers will benefit by using this license plating concept?
It's a range. We do have a lot of customers that track. They want to know how many license plates that are in their facility. So pallets. You can think of this as a pallet or a license plate, but a lot of customers just want to know how many license plates I have. So I'll have the appropriate number of storage places for those, and how am I running? Am I running out of those storage places? They can look at how many pallets there are license plates. Customers like to track lot numbers onto those. So if you store one or multiple lot numbers onto those license plates, totally fine. You can even mix items on there. So it's a facility that you don't have to transact on those individual lot numbers every time you do a transaction. You're just using that license plate to make that transaction. And then the third scenario we see are people with serial numbers. So if you store 15, 20 units onto or however many units are onto a license plate, and each of those are serialized, again, you just have to transact at the license plate level versus having to key or scan in each of those serial numbers every time you want to do a transaction.
Great. That's awesome. So do we have a scenario that we can show a demo today for a user base?
Sure. Yep. Let me share my screen and I will show you. Okay, so I'll set the stage here. I do have, let me go over here. So this is, I do have NetSuite on the left-hand side, and it does have a work order. This is a WIP work order, work in process. It has the finished good that I'm making, has some components and routing steps to it for it. On the right-hand side, this is the RO Smart menu, and the menu that you're seeing is our license plate functionality. So as I talked about PO receiving and cycle counting and transferring and picking, that's what all of these features are. I know we're going to just touch on one of them, but there's the breadth of our license plate and functionality. Now, in order to accomplish the work order completion one, I'll just simply tap on it, work order completion, there it is. very intuitive, very user-friendly, each of these functions. It's going to ask what document, what work order that I'm ready to work on. And there it is in NetSuite on the left, 5509. Easy ways the user can scan, because you can print out a work order traveler with these, and they can scan the barcode right off of that traveler to start the process. Or you could key it in. So if I knew the numbers, if I knew my document number, somebody told me, I could just key that in. We do have a load list where they can see the open orders, and they could just touch it right off of the screen. So there's easy ways to identify what work order. I'm going to scan. I have a barcode of my data in front of me. So I'll scan the 5509 there. And what it will do is it'll read that information on the left hand in NetSuite real time. The user only has the view on the right. And now it's going to say, do you want to assign a license plate to these? And here's the question. You can give it your own license plate number. So if you have a next number, then you can certainly pull it off the roll. A lot of customers like to control the numbering, so they'll do that. Or we can generate one by using this tap this new license plate number, and it will go ahead and generate the next number for you. So I'll do that. I'll choose the new license plate. It'll ask me which printer that you want to print out. So you'll get a barcoded label of that license plate number that you can affix to the product, or fix to the pallet, really. And then that's what you'll be using for any of those other subsequent transactions, like moving it, putting it away, and doing any of those other things. So I'll go ahead and just create one here. Let me just create a barcode for those. I will just say that I'm going to print. You saw the option to print what printer that you want to print out, and out will come that label. And then here is where you identify how many you're going to build onto that pallet there. Now, the quantity that I have for this is 10. I can certainly put 5 onto one, or 6, and then build another one. So you do have that.
You could also mix products, obviously, on the same pallet in the license plate.
Yes, we allow mix items if you want. It's a configuration. Some customers don't want that, and they want us to stop it. So it's a flag that you can set. Now, if these were lot or enabled finished goods, then we'd simply prompt the user for the serial numbers for those units, or the lot numbers for those units. So we work with all 3 of those characteristics: regular items, which this is, serialized items, and lot controlled items. Those will all be there for it. Okay. So yeah, enter the quantity. It'll build this finished good. Into inventory. We do have a default manufacturing receiving bin that it will come into. This pallet will be license plate will be created with whatever quantity of this item I put on, and then you can go ahead and put it away, or you could pick it for a sales order. But it will be in inventory as an active license plate with those items on there.
Awesome. And obviously, you do have the capabilities later on if we need to, for example, unpack a license plate. Say we got an order for 3 of these units, right? And we need to pick those up, so we can pick the pallet first, right? Unpack it and take out the 3 units and then put it away again with 7 units back, right? So that's typical of capabilities of usage of the license plate.
Yeah, during the picking process, if I was to store 10 of these laptops on, and the end customer only ordered 3, you could certainly choose this license plate and say, I only need to pick 3. It'll pick 3 off of that, and then leave the 7 on this original license plate. So you don't have to break it down or do anything. The fact of you picking it will allow you to take those partials off of there. So the picking process. But if you ever do want to break down, take items off of a license plate by itself, we have that functionality. It's a license plate, remove item, add item. You can add items to an existing license plate at any time as well. Awesome. So I'll go ahead and build 10, and next, and I won't scrap any today. That's it. It'll create that license plate. It will perform the work order completion. that work order will get updated. The work order in NetSuite will get updated with the work order completion record. The license plate will be in inventory with those items on it in that manufacturing staging bin, receiving bin that you saw that was on that screen, and now you're ready to put it away for it. If I go to, let's see, I think this is the item that I have. License plates are easy to see in many places. You can look at them under each item master. We give you a safe search that you can look on there. So you can query the license plate right within here. Here's this spot. As soon as I find my RF Smart and my license plate. So there's the one that I just created. 22018 is that license plate number. If I put it into the save search or the global searcher 2018, you'll see that it will pop up there, so I can see it. I can get it to a lot of ways for it.
And that shows you the products that are within that license plate.
Yep. If you query it, however you get to it.
Custom record, right?
It is a custom record, yeah. Yeah, you'll see everything about it. You'll see the header information, where it is. There's that manufacturing receiving bin, tells you the location, tells you who created it, tells you the date. And then if you go to the lines, you will actually see the items that are on there, the quantity, the work order that created it, or the PO. Outbound is if you picked it for a sales order, or a transfer order. And if it's a serial or inventory controlled item, you'll see the inventory numbers running along the top here.
Awesome. Excellent.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a full traceability of everything. You won't get lost. And then what the customer, or what you could do at this point, you could put it away. You could pick it because it's an inventory. So all of those, any of these features here that you're seeing through my LP license plate, obviously is the LP. You could do any of these functions with it since it's a live license plate. Like here's the put away process right here. I can just tap it. I'll scan in that license plate 002178, or I could just scan it right into here and it will give me some suggested putaways for it. So yeah, it's a full traceability.
Well, that's what we wanted to look at. It is wonderful to see this full-fledged functionality, and looking forward to seeing this action with our customers. Thank you very much, Danny.
You're welcome.
Going back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Danny, for that, and Sergio. Really great points there that we talked about. So if you guys have questions about this or want to kind of explore the solution further, please contact Sergio. His email is right there, and he'll be happy to set up some time to discuss with you. Thanks again, everyone.